Okay, so we're just documenting here what kind of treatment needs to be done on this bodice before it's ready to be displayed. The first thing is the lapels. They are with the bodice, but they've been removed. And the right hand one, the thread is still visible on both the lapel and down the front of the bodice. So what it looks like happened here, because there's still a crease in here, so we're going to fold it over where the crease is and then stitch it back just to the left of the hooks for the eyes that fasten along there, and then just stitch it right back along where it belongs there. The right hand lapel is a little bit trickier because there is no crease in this lapel, so it doesn't appear to fold over before it's stitched on. The thread lines here match up just to the side of this crease in the bodice itself. So what I'm going to do here is stitch this back along where the stitching line is, and then the whole bodice will form a crease right here encasing that raw edging. The collar is going to go back on the back half of the neckline, and then that meets up. Okay. The collar gets stitched back to the back half of the neckline, and then meets up right around the shoulder seam with the tops of the lapel. So that'll get stitched in like that, and the frayed front edge of this collar is just going to have to be encased because there's nothing that appears to go there, and there's not a whole lot we can do about that. At the front closure, this piece and the buttons were added on later, but because of the really nasty fraying and all kinds of stuff that's going on inside of here, it's going to be too risky to take this extension off. So what we're going to do is remove all 4 buttons, because all 4 buttons were added later, and the hooks, these are modern hooks, also added later on the inside of this little extension bit, and flip it under. Let that sort of return to its original function here. The next thing is there are 3 darts, interestingly, one only on the right front of the bodice and then on the 2 left sides of the back, that were let out of the outer fabric of the fabric, and then because the lining is constructed differently from the outer part of the bodice, the lining was just slashed on those 1, 2, 3 darts. So these darts, I'm just going to re-stitch them the way they originally were. So then those lines right there of fraying from the original stitching will hopefully go away. There is a vertical tear in the fabric right here, and apparently that's on the glove. But the lining fabric underneath is okay, so the edges of the torn fabric will just get tacked down to the lining in a couple of places to keep that sturdy. In the underarms, well, actually, let me show right here. The underarms on both sides, gussets were added later, but it's the original piece and where the original seam was. Okay, so this is where the gusset was inserted on the inside. You can open it like that, like a diamond-shaped gusset, but if that comes out, it's really clear where the side seams close back up again to their original spot. I think actually that might be everything on this lesson. Let me flip over this bodice. And the other major issue that this bodice has right now is the center back seam is really splitting. So I think the thing to do there is just to stitch just outside of where the fabric is split to the lining underneath to keep that secure. And then you can also see, now that we have it flipped over, where the collar will get stitched right back there. And that is, oh, and here you can also see on the outside, this is where the back bodice darts will get restitched. There we go.